This is not an easy topic, but people, including myself, have been suffering in silence for too long, so it's time to address it. For context, I am an intersex man, and I was given surgery and hormones when I was very young so that I would be able to bear offspring for the SRA groups. I also have strong reason to believe that I wasn't supposed to be born intersex in the first place, and that there was something that happened with a twin in utero. And, I know it sounds crazy, but I don't care. I'm speaking my truth as it is coming to me right now. And if evidence comes up that makes it that that's not actually the truth, then fine, whatever. This video is not meant to be an indictment on trans people at all. I have personally had a trans experience, and I had to be on hormone therapy for about 5 years before my natural systems would kick in. But anyway, what my body has been telling me over the past 2 years of being off of hormones and coming into an understanding of what my truth actually is that my body was not meant to bear children, and it was destroyed as a result. I kind of always thought that it was my fault, I was weak, whatever. Not to mention the fact that I was a child myself when it happened. So you got the fact that I was a child when these things were happening to me, and no child is able to go through those things. And also, my body was not set up for it. The largest cause of my pain, disfigurement, and suffering in the aftermath of surviving SRA is pregnancy. I have been pregnant over 30 times. In addition to that, I also went through violent, non-consensual assaults, probably more times than I can even fathom, which resulted in tearing of those areas and nerve damage, sensation loss, scar tissue, bacterial overgrowth, pelvic inflammation, extreme pain and stiffness in the pelvic area. So it still is difficult for me to walk. I'm not going to lie. I've done a lot of work. But for a long time, I could not walk. But I didn't believe myself. I didn't have my memories back at the time. So I didn't even trust myself. And so I forced myself to walk, which resulted in more pain and injury. And also those organs became unmoored. I can't really go into more specifics on that on this app. But basically the tendons were destroyed. They were ripped out. So those organs are just kind of hanging out there. And also urinary dysfunction. I wanted to tell you guys all of that because I know it's not just me, and I want to give you guys hope that it is possible to heal. I'm nowhere near the end, but I do want to tell you that I'm now able to run, mostly without pain, and the distance keeps increasing with time. The attachments around those areas, those organs, are no longer detached. They're pretty much in place, and whenever they're performing their functions, they do so without pain and violent movement. I do still have a swollen bladder, and I have to pee a lot more often than normal people do. Could I have benefited from surgery? Probably. But there were a lot of factors limiting my access to surgery, and in a way, I'm kind of grateful because it showed me that there is a path to healing that does not involve surgery. So if for some reason you're unable to access it, there are ways to get you to where you need to be. I still have not had surgery. Maybe I'll try to get it in the future, but you can get to where I have gotten with these methods. So first is if you have trouble using the bathroom and there's a lot of scar tissue, tenderness, pain, and blood, what you need to do is use your sensual energy. And if you can experience the big O, you're going to want to take a dilation device and place it in the area that's affected and direct your sensual energy to that area. And when that occurs, you want to direct that energy and say the word heal. Just say heal, heal, heal over and over and over again. This is the reason why they have things like corn and glorifying just sensual relationships that are going nowhere, because they don't want you to know the healing power of your own sensual energy. Second is to strengthen and tone those areas, and especially if you have hormonal systems that were disrupted like mine. Chinese white snow fungus has been an absolute game changer. It's also just delicious, and I like to eat it in miso soup. Third is to strengthen your back and abdominal muscles that were probably completely destroyed going through all the pregnancies. And regular abdominal routines are not going to help you, because they will stretch the muscles instead of bringing them back together and healing the tears. So what you'll want to do is look up diastasis recti exercises, and you can find those on TikTok. They're super helpful. That's what I did, and I came up with a very short routine that's maybe like 3 to 4 minutes long, and I would do those before workouts, or that really was the workout for a while when I was working on repairing the muscles to begin with. And those, because like your abdominal wall just gets super stretched out if you're going through pregnancies at such an early age and early development. So the diastasis recti exercises will help a lot to get your body kind of cinched back in and to repair all of the muscle tears that have happened. Fifth is to take lots of baths in Epsom salt with eucalyptus and spearmint essential oils. Those are really helpful for pain relief. I'm going to have to make a follow-up video because there's a lot more to say on this. But sixth is going to be to hold yourself. And what that is going to mean is taking your hands and placing it on the affected areas. So below the waist, literally just like cup your organs, or your stomach if you've experienced pregnancies. And literally just that soft, gentle holding of yourself is going to bring so much healing to your spirit, to your inner child, your parts, your younger parts. And it's just basically telling yourself, like, I see you, I understand what you've been through, and I'm calling in all of the circumstances and all of the softness that you need to heal, to be seen, for that pain to not go unrecognized. Like, I recognize you, and you deserve to rest. After having gone through all of that horrific experience, you deserve to just take a break. You deserve to be soft. And just a hand on yourself will let that part of you know it's okay. It's okay to just stop. Someone sees you, and someone knows how bad it's been, and that you shouldn't be required to do anything but heal.